A night at Old Trafford where emotions were stretched to the very edge. From excitement, anxiety, and outrage to an explosion of uncontainable madness. Manchester United looked set to throw away their ticket to the Europa League semi-finals after letting Lyon pull off a dramatic comeback in extra time. But just when fate seemed sealed, two names, Mainu and Maguire, rewrote the script in the space of a single minute. From the brink of elimination, trailing 4-2, doubted and seemingly broken, the Red Devils mounted a breathtaking rally to clinch a 5-4 victory. This wasn't just a match. It was a 120-minute emotional rollercoaster, a chaotic epic where passion trumped reason and belief in the comeback turned Old Trafford into the stage for a legendary night. From the opening whistle, Manchester United made their intentions crystal clear, to overwhelm Lyon with pace and aggression. When the opening goal came in the 10th minute, it wasn't just the result of smooth build-up. It was a loud and clear message: the Red Devils weren't going down tonight. It was a flashback to their glorious prime. Bruno Fernandes timed it perfectly. Canato laid it off with finesse into space for the second line, freezing Lyon's defense. And out of nowhere, Manuel Ugarte stormed in like a man possessed, smashing the ball into an open net amid the roar of 75,000 fans. Before Lyon could gather themselves, the storm continued. Right before halftime, Diego Dalot morphed into a ruthless finisher, latching onto a long ball from Mawa, breaking free and firing a striker's finish. The ball kissed the inside of the post and nestled into the net, carrying with it the burning hope of United fans dreaming of a fairytale night. Old Trafford erupted. Lyon looked lost. Ruben Amorim exhaled like the worst was over, but little did anyone know, this was only the prelude to pure footballing madness. Just as United basked in the glow of their lead, Lyon, seemingly down and out, rose with incredible resolve. Ironically, the goal that made it 2-1 came from United's season-long Achilles heel, set pieces. In the 77th minute, from what looked like a harmless free kick, the Red Devils' defense hesitated. Moussa Niakate soared to meet the ball, it brushed off Lacazette, and Tolisso pounced to finish clinically past Onana. Suddenly, the safe lead was down to 1. The atmosphere in the stands shifted, from blazing excitement to growing unease. The nightmare deepened just minutes later. In the 77th minute, chaos unfolded in stunning fashion. Fofana beat Dalot down the left. Maru misfired, but Tagliafico was there at the near post to slot it in. Onana scrambled to keep it out, but goal line tech confirmed it had crossed. 2-2-4-4 on aggregate. The VAR screen flashed goal, and Old Trafford fell silent. The Lyon bench exploded. Ten Hag stood frozen, a familiar sting of collapse hitting home at the theater of dreams. Extra time arrived, and on paper United had the edge after Tolisso's controversial red card in the 89th minute. But fate had one more cruel twist. The moment Lyon lost their captain, they became more dangerous than ever. Like a wounded beast lashing out with its final breath, Lyon struck. In the 105th minute, Brian Cherki stunned the stadium. A lightning-fast sequence, just 15 seconds from center-back Clinton Mata's pass to the moment the ball entered United's box. Fofana sprinted like a blur. Dalot slipped trying to stop him. Marwa's charge came a beat too late. The ball rebounded perfectly into Cherki's path at the top of his left-footed strike sliced through the thick tension, arrowing into the far corner, leaving Onana rooted. Unbelievable. Lyon, down to 10 men, now leading 3-2 at Old Trafford. But the drama didn't end there. In the 109th minute, Sofiane Amrabat brought down Fofana inside the box. No hesitation, the referee pointed straight to the spot. Lacazette stepped up and coolly sent Onana the wrong way. Ice in his veins, the stadium fell into eerie silence. He sprinted the length of the pitch, celebrating in front of the Lyon supporters, once thought dead and buried, now roaring back to life. The scoreline, 4-2, 6-4 on aggregate, Lyon in front. On the sidelines, Ruben Amorim clutched his head, not out of fury, but utter disbelief. A team with a man advantage, once 2-0 up, now stood on the verge of Europa League elimination. Erik ten Hag's adjustments couldn't restore order. United had turned into a chaotic jigsaw puzzle thrown into disarray by a play directed by the madness of football itself. Only a miracle could change the ending, but who would be the one to deliver it? In the 114th minute, A flash of light pierced through the storm. Casemiro was brought down by Amanda in the box. After consulting VAR, the referee pointed to the spot. Old Trafford snapped awake, clinging to one final thread of hope. Bruno Fernandes stepped up to the penalty, the weight of the universe on his shoulders. Lucas Perry guessed the right way, but couldn't reach the shot. It kissed the inside of the post and went in. 3-4, the gap had narrowed. Just 6 minutes left. But that's all it takes for a storm to rise. United surged forward like wounded beasts backed into a corner. Lyon began to tremble. Then, in the 120th minute, Kobbie Mainoo arrived. Chaos in the box, the ball bounced perfectly into his path. He struck it with a curling shot toward the far post. The entire stadium held its breath, tracking the arc of the ball. It flew like an arrow and ripped into the net through deafening silence. 4-4, 6-6 on aggregate. Old Trafford exploded. But it wasn't over. Boom. In the 120-plus first minute, an earthquake named Amad Diallo shook the theater of dreams. Casemiro whipped in a cross, and Maguire rose like a tower, thundering a header toward the far corner. Niakate couldn't react in time. Perry stood frozen as the net bulged again. 5-4 for Manchester United. 7-6 on aggregate. A boy cried. A father screamed. Onana sprinted half the field to bear hug Amorim mid-celebration. Garnacho pounded his chest like his heart would burst. Bruno dropped to his knees, clutching his fists like he needed to hold on to reality. VAR checked the goal. 75-0 inside the theater of dreams held their breath. The season's fate hung on a single pixel. Then came the screen, goal, and time exploded back into motion. At that moment, all tactics, formations, and calculations melted into irrelevance. What remained was the purest emotion football can deliver. How do you even explain it? How does a heart survive watching your team go 2-0 up, only to fall 4-2 behind against a 10-man Lion? How do you curse in despair, thinking the dream is over, only to be hit like a bolt of electricity to the soul as United roars back? One desperate clearance sparked a faint hope. One curling shot sent a stadium into delirium, and then, yes, it was Maguire, in a moment that defied logic, whose header flipped the entire story on its head. That moment wasn't football, it was lightning through the veins, a dopamine overload that made your chest cave in, then explode. Some screamed with no sound, some bit their shirts. Some crumbled in the stands. In those final minutes, reason collapsed. Only one truth remained. Roaring in the blood, we're still alive. Manchester United didn't win through strategy, they won through heart. And tonight that heart beat like it had never lived before. When the final whistle blew, the scoreboard read 5-4-7-6 on aggregate, and Old Trafford erupted. Not just for a win, but for a rebirth. United didn't just survive a game, they rediscovered a spirit thought long buried, the refusal to quit, the will to rise, and the belief that it's never over, not until the very last second. This victory didn't belong to the better team. It belonged to the ones who felt pain, who raged, who stared destiny in the face and screamed, "We're not done yet." Yes, the team still lacks cohesion. Yes, the defense remains leaky. Yes, Ruben Amorim made choices that raised eyebrows, but all of that was swept away by the raw truth of this night. This wasn't a match for logic. It was a war for the unyielding heart. This story will be told again and again, about the 120th minute goal, Bruno's choking cry, Maguire's defiant nod that tore through the night, the tears of children raised on legends now living one of their own. United may not win the title this season, but if there was ever a moment that defined why we love this game, this night was it. And sometimes, just one night like this is enough to pull an entire season back from the brink.